You hear me, Ibaf?
Waiting on the charges. Are there any charges being made today?
Yeah, he's typing them right now.
I nailed
Oh, Ibaf is a bird. Ibaf is accused of abusing Discord mod power. Alright, I'm about to make my opening statement, and then I'll let the prosecution...
Ibaf's me off whenever I look at the defendant.
Alright, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. We're here today to address the matter of Tiger Mafia versus Ibaf. At the heart of this case is an accusation that the defendant, in their role as a moderator on a Discord server, abused their power by removing the plaintiff without a cause or in a manner unjustified by the server's rules. The prosecution will argue that the defendant overstepped their authority, potentially acting out of personal bias or without proper justification. On the other hand, the defense will argue that the defendant's actions were entirely within the bounds of their role, and that the removal was warranted, whether for server rules violations or other valid reasons. Now, we are not here to settle petty online squabbles or judge who said what in a meme channel. No, today's task is to determine whether the defendant's actions as a moderator were reasonable and fair. I expect professionalism from everyone involved here. The prosecution must prove their case beyond the standard of a keyboard warrior's hunch, and the defense will have the opportunity to present their side. In the end, it's my responsibility to ensure that this trial proceeds fairly and that justice is served. With that being said, we'll now begin by hearing the opening statement from the prosecution. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And
give him his turn. You didn't give him his turn.
Oh, do I? It's your turn.
And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who's also the defendant. Today, I intend to show you that the defendant is in fact guilty of abuse of mod powers. And has in fact engaged in a lengthy, years-long campaign of slander and abuse against my client, and this is just one aspect of a much larger problem. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's enough out of you. Fencepost?
Cam's kind of a cunt and deserved it. I'm gonna prove that.
Would you like to find another way to phrase that, maybe?
Sorry.
You will be fine.
Also prove that he didn't break any rules. Blah. Yeah, that too.
Okay.
No.
Court is now in session, so let's proceed with our evidence here. Unbird him!
Bird this man.
That was the fine.
So I guess I should go first then, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your turn. Well, thank you for my turn. Let me see.
Real quick, you want me to explain how the cards are going to work for them, Coleslaw?
Sure. Do that.
For,
and then I can go through.
For Nova, Wino, and Rum, we're going to play cards that'll say C evidence and then a number. It'll say P number, D number, whatever. In the Discord channel, actually, they can't see that channel, can they, Coleslaw?
No, but he can.
Basically, I think NyQuil is going to show them on the stream so that people know what the evidence actually is.
Yeah, I can press tab and show.
Okay, that makes sense then. Continue.
I am looking for a specific one.
How do you do the emotes?
Hold down E.
Hold down E, yeah. How's our journalist doing over there?
Doing well.
What is D8?
Alright.
Sorry, I'm having to cross-reference these to what they actually are, because I don't remember the exact numbers. I apologize.
That's what I'm doing right now, too.
Okay. All right, I got it. I'll start here.
How Weekend Says Hi.
If you would please reference Defense Evidence 3.
Okay. I think I need to pull up the Discord channel for this, don't I?
Probably.
Yup.
I don't know if they're. Should we just make it public at this point?
You can.
Okay,
God
so
damn it, Rum.
Defense Evidence 3. How Weekend Says Hi.
Make it public. I want to see this shit too.
Well, it's on my stream. It's on my stream. You can open my stream on a second monitor if you want.
God damn it. Hold on.
So this is how the Weekenders say hi,
Chapter wrap.
according to Coleslaw.
And if I could, I would like to call a witness.
Okay, who's your first witness?
Well, it's gonna be my client.
Okay,
Fucking understand me.
so put him up there.
I did.
You put him up there.
I requested a
You're the judge.
witness.
Yeah, you're the judge. You
You're
send
the
his
one
witness
put him
up.
Oh, did I not do it?
Pull the witness and you hit the button.
Oh,
Hit
there we
the
go.
red button.
There we go.
Hello.
Agreed. Nice.
He's
to
not
see
on
you
the
again.
he's not on the stand.
There he is.
Shut up.
Oh wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, his stream
Well,
is
as
slow.
we can all
Sorry.
see, the defense is stating that this rude gesture here is a normal, you'd say, professional way to say hello to a colleague in the workplace. Would you agree?
I would not agree. I would say it's pretty disrespectful.
I would like to point out, if the judge and the jury would please notice that what sort of a face does it look like my client is making in that image? Does it look like a face that you would say maybe greet someone fondly with?
God damn it.
So, I guess I really, honestly, don't have any more questions. Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Wow. Okay, that is a very interesting piece of evidence. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, he doesn't look completely pleased with the gesture.
Defense gets to cross-examine.
If I would like, I guess, okay, before I move on, you're right. I will allow the defense to cross-examine. I would like to clarify for the court that the person making that gesture is not the defendant. It is the defense lawyer.
Oh.
I intend to also show through the evidence presented that they are working in concert as a sort of a campaign against my client, not only in the Discord and not only in this honorable courtroom, but at his place of work. That's all.
I swear to fuck.
Does the defense have any questions for the witness?
Yeah.
All right, go. You may proceed.
Might I remind you, you're under oath?
Yes, the sock oath.
Let's be honest here. He asked you a question.
Would
and
you
it
mind
was-
reciting
you answered
that, Mo?
truthfully, which was, it's not a professional way to greet people, right? And you agree.
Correct. Yes.
Would you also agree that we don't work at a professional company? And are you going to look me in the eyes on oath and tell me that you've never just flipped me off when I walked in the building ever?
I do not recall any
what-
of these happening. No,
You're under oath.
Objection.
I am under oath.
Objection. He needs to state a specific date if he wants the client to recall a specific incident.
I remember a lot of days, but not
Yeah.
not any of those days.
How about daily?
I don't work daily.
Okay, you want to lie on oath? That's fine. I'll win later. That's all I got. I don't need to talk to a liar when he's gonna lie on oath.
Okay. How do I put him back in his chair?
Hit the red X
Yep, there you go.
with
There we
your
go.
gap. Yeah.
All right, I got it. Thank you.
It's still my turn for evidence, I'm assuming.
Yes, go ahead and supply your first piece of evidence for the defense, if you'd like.
Both jurors are cuffed.
Good.
Stop disrupting this courtroom.
Nova, do you have any headlines for us?
Yes.
This just
You're
in!
fucking disrupting this courtroom.
I
didn't see that. What it say?
It says bad words in court. Who is Ibaf, good or bad?
God damn it!
Very
Rob!
interesting. Very interesting.
I'm being
gonna-
antagonized by the.
That's enough out of the defendant.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring forth evidence D4.
Okay, let's take a look.
That's the one I wanted.
I got both of those cards somehow.
What is going on?
She keeps fucking cuffing and stunning and.
she keeps making it to where he can't do anything. She's furthering a history of abusing my client.
Order!
That's
Order!
She's not on trial.
Order in the court!
To be fair, he was being disruptive, Your Honor.
I need to present this piece of evidence. In order to proceed, I need to be able to tab over without this going into chaos. Okay, so
Good luck.
character of plaintiff and defendant. See evidence P1 or D4. Okay. I'm looking for it right now.
You'll see two photos.
Evidence 8. Evidence 4. 2 photos, yes. Okay, so here's one photo. Got this one. And now I need to grab the other one. Whoops. So this is the character of our. This is what we're talking about?
Yep.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Here, you can see an example of the defendant
Mm-hmm.
engaging in our saying hi ritual that we do at work.
The morning ritual, yes.
Whereas you'll see that the plaintiff does not. And
Right.
instead just kind of looks constipated like he's going to go fuck off on the toilet for a half hour instead of working.
What is that
More like-
he's holding? Is that a socket wrench?
It's a ratchet.
A ratchet?
Yeah,
It's like-
yeah, it's
A ratchet.
it's a high lock ratchet. Yep.
Okay.
It's a tool.
You'll also see that the defendant is properly wearing his PPE and the plaintiff is not.
Eh,
I'm just going to say, he seems like not a rule. That's two examples of not rule following. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm wearing it. It's just on my head, not my eyes.
That's all I'm going to
See if
say.
you look.
Is this relevant to the case?
It speaks to his character.
Well, yeah, we're doing a character.
Okay, interesting. All right, please continue.
The plaintiff is trying to essentially. I'm trying to think of the word. Is it sue, convict? What are we doing here? Is he suing him or convicting him?
It's a civil.
He's suing my
Seeking damages.
defendant
Are you looking for a settlement today?
because he didn't follow the rules, and all I want to point out is kind of hypocritical.
Okay, we have a little bit of breaking news here. That was pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie.
I got that one. That's my first piece of evidence.
Okay. Coleslaw, do you have any... Whoops. I didn't mean to do that.
I don't have any comments towards that
God
evidence.
damn it,
I'd like to present something new.
You'd like to present some new evidence. Okay. Let's continue.
Could I call the defense to the stand before I present some evidence?
Sorry, I'm cuffed. I can't go anywhere.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Could I call the
Said
defendant to
Judge
the stand
Mud.
before presenting some evidence?
I need you to say that one more time. I apologize.
Can I call the defendant to the stand
Yeah, totally.
before presenting evidence?
Yeah. Well, I don't see why not.
Okay. Well,
Don't
then I'd
hit
like to
the-
question the defendant.
Don't hit the witness button, or else you're just going to call.
Yeah,
to the stand.
you can't pull him. Okay.
All right, Ibaf.
I mean, could just answer the questions.
Yeah, well, that's how this is going to work. He's just going to pretend that he's you, and you're going to say the words.
Okay.
I'm
Miss-
Ibaf and I'm guilty.
No more questions. Mr. Ibaf, would you
Yeah.
please explain to the court the inciting incident for the I feel like we all just need to sort of understand, maybe from your perspective, what caused the ban to take place.
Well, I am all too happy to explain that incident because, if anything, it only proves my innocence. So I was hard at work, as I usually am at work, and Cameron, being the antagonistic person that he is, approaches me and says something along the line. I'm too traumatized to remember exactly, so I'll paraphrase, but he said something along the lines of, "Hey there, Pookie." And let me just tell you, that is not a professional way to conduct yourself at work, giving sweet little nicknames to your coworkers. So I very politely informed him that I would not like to be called Pookie again. He then proceeds to call me Pookie another time, and then I give him fair warning that that is strike 2, and that strike 3 will result in punitive action. He seemed to take that as a challenge and then went ahead immediately calling me Pookie for a third time. After which I did in fact kick him, not ban him, but kick him from the NyQuil and Friends Discord server.
Thank you. Prior to the third infraction, did you inform my client the exact stipulations of the punishment?
Well, if you had actually listened to what I just said, I did in fact warn him after strike 2.
Harsh. Yes. Did you specify the nature of your punishment?
I can't. I'm suffering from PTSD. I can't entirely remember the events.
Okay. Well, I thank you for telling the court this, and just so we're all on the same page, would you say that my client also perhaps has certain difficulties, or seems maybe antagonistic to you at certain moments in social interactions?
Constantly.
Well, then I'd like to present.
I know where he's going with this.
My evidence. Would you please take a look at prosecution evidence 4? And again, this is not hearsay. This is from the mouth of my client.
I'm looking for it right now.
Actually, since we already have him on the stand, may I question the plaintiff?
You may.
I have no questions for the defense.
I was gonna say.
Oh yeah,
Gotta let him
sorry. I
cross.
apologize. This is my first case.
Wait, hold on. Let me find this piece of evidence before we proceed.
If you want me to read it for you, Your Honor, I can.
I need to drag it onto screen. That's why I'm looking for it. Ah, yes, here we are. There it is. Okay. We may proceed.
Okay. Okay. Are we good? May I
Yes.
ask a question?
Yes, proceed.
Mr. Tiger Mafia,
Yes.
do you recall making this statement?
I do.
I can remind you if the judge doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
context of
remember
the
it word for
conversation.
word, but I remember.
But the
remember
context,
writing
the conversation was in context to a certain exam. Is that correct?
it. Yeah, I believe so.
Would you stand by this statement that you made?
I would. Yes, I would.
Okay, and would you also agree that certain every individual who may be differently neurodivergent has different sort of behavioral traits,
Yes, I would agree.
and some of those behavioral traits may come off as like antagonistic
Yes.
or annoying to other
I
people?
believe that people should be tolerant and be mindful of these.
Thank you. I appreciate you answering my questions, and I believe that's all I have, Your Honor.
I do have questions for this witness.
Proceed with your questions.
Might I ask what doctor diagnosed you with autism?
I have not been officially diagnosed by a doctor. However, I have been diagnosed by my supervisor and my coworker, which is you.
I don't remember getting a doctorate. I have a law degree. I don't have a doctorate.
Do you remember, explaining what autism was to me because I was so autistic I didn't know, and then you telling me I had it?
Yes,
Who's
I also
asking the
told- I also
questions
told
here?
You to go get tested.
Okay. I did take an online test, and it did state that I was
Okay.
minorly autistic.
I just wanted to make sure that we're in the clear there here that you are
Fuck
not
you, Ron.
officially diagnosed autistic. That's it.
Okay, the records will show that Tiger Mafia has not been diagnosed with autism, but has chosen to self-diagnose for the convenience of this trial.
He has autism stolen valor.
Interesting. Interesting.
I would like to state that it's not for the convenience of this trial, and that that statement was made months prior.
That's true. And he also mentions it in several aspects of his day-to-day life.
Let me check the date of this evidence.
I do
Yes.
like airplanes. And
This evidence is over a year old, so that is correct. Or maybe it's not over a year old, but it's about a year old. Okay.
I have no further questions.
Whose turn is it for evidence?
It's mine for evidence. I
Yeah, it's
believe,
his
isn't it?
turn.
Okay.
I'm gonna play my wild card and
Alright.
use evidence D6.
D6.
A letter on the character of the plaintiff from his supervisor at work.
Okay. Here we go. Let's take a look here.
Fuck you.
Mr. Fencepost, I am writing in response to your questions on the Cam's character as requested by your law offices. Cam is a good worker, but displays some concerning, if not kind of disturbing, behavior at work consistently. He generally tries to complete his work, but I feel he would complete even more if he was less argumentative and antagonistic. This does not only extend to his coworkers, but even me as his supervisor, and even my supervisor, his manager. Cam seems to get sort of sick joy out of making others angry as a decent human I just don't understand. I honestly at work can't think of a time when something negative was done or said that Cam didn't instigate. On that specific day you're speaking about, I remember hearing Cam was warned twice before the retaliation came. While Mr. Ibaf was gracious enough to not take him to HR within our company, he very well could have. I hope this letter answers the questions you ask. Anthony John Kosak II, Weekend Shift Supervisor at Elliott Aviation of the Quad Cities, LLC. Alright.
Well,
Do you have any questions for the witness? Or...
I didn't call him up there. No, I don't need to talk to him.
Okay.
just sort of left him up there from last time.
Oh, well, let's put him down.
What?
Alright. I don't know who's supposed to be on the stand right now. Does anybody need to call a witness?
No, I'm just presenting evidence that the prosecution can have an. I have nothing to say about this. This is just further showing.
Okay, prosecution.
He has a history of antagonistic behavior.
Do you have anything to say about that piece of evidence that was just provided?
I don't think I do.
No, I would like to say something about
Actually,
that piece of evidence.
I do. Okay, you know what? Sure. Let's call
I
my
would like-
witness. My plaintiff.
I would like to ask the attorney of the defendant who wrote that letter.
Hold on a minute.
He doesn't
I think
ask-
only the attorneys here are allowed to ask questions.
I'm sorry. I'm only used to American law. I'm not super familiar with sock law, so I apologize.
Familiarize yourself with sock law, and then we'll move forward.
Yes,
Now,
Your Honor, I
if you would like to
apologize.
call me to the stand and ask me questions, that's fine.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do
Okay,
what he said.
so I'm on the stand then. Okay.
You're on the stand. Who wrote the letter? Mr. Fencepost?
Tiger Mafia's direct supervisor.
I'm
on
gonna
the
call the
shift.
judge.
And who is Tiger Mafia's direct supervisor?
Anthony John Kozik II.
And who is it that also steers Fencepost 1987?
Anthony John Kozik II.
Thank you. No more questions, Your Honor.
Let the record show that the defendant's defense attorney wrote that letter. Do we have any more questions for the current witness?
Nope.
I don't.
Oh,
I
sorry.
am so confident in my case. I was going to even let that slide, but it is good that we corrected that for the court. Thank you.
Okay.
I have no questions for myself.
Okay. All right. Any evidence would you like to provide, or do we need to ask any more questions to the other witness who was on the stand before just now?
No.
I think it's still my turn to present evidence. Well, if my light
How
was
many
green.
how many cards have you played?
I've played 2.
Rum, I
Then
swear
yes,
to
your turn.
Okay. I also won't be calling anyone to the stand. I would just like to bring to the court the history of violence that might. Could you please make me green?
Oh.
Thank you. I'd like to call to the court the history of violence that the defendant has at risk.
Yeah, I
of
got your
being
violence right here,
sick.
motherfucker.
If you could please reference.
Bailiff, turn him into a chicken, please.
Gladly.
Can we get that on record?
Fuck you.
Thank you. Okay. So
Your
Let's
Honor,
take
can we
a-
have that on record? Is that
let's
correct?
take a look at this evidence. History of violence P8. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. P8. Okay, here we go. History of violence. So, do you have anything to say about this before I play it?
I would just
He
no.
can't.
I would just like to point out.
Turn the
that,
damn music off.
Hold on a second. I have to drag this over.
Now, as most of you know,
This is a recreational activity.
Huckleberry
that
decided not to show his face.
engages in-
He's too fucking scared.
All right, please repeat yourself. The video was playing over you.
I would just like to point out that this evidence shows that the defendant enjoys bringing harm to himself and other people, recreation.
We don't have time to watch all 10 minutes of this, so we're gonna skip around.
Go away!
Come on, you're better!
I'm not calling you
Men. Alright, so we got Danger and Huckleberry. He's going up. He's got a big body slam.
Wow, that was a big body slam. All right, what else do we have here?
Harry looking like he's gonna get slammed on. No, he moves right out of the way. Pull it. Huge slam! And there you go.
Okay, I think we have a good enough idea of the evidence here. So this is some, what would you call that? Some backyard wrestling? Some
recreational violence.
recreational violence. Okay. Would either of you like to call a witness to the stand?
I don't have any witnesses to call. I just want to clarify and kind of bring my whole story together for the court. That what I'm showing here is a history of violence perpetrated by the defendant, not only on my client, but on random large men at night. That's it. That's all I've got.
Okay.
Fence, I swear you better call me to the fucking stand.
For what?
Defense against the evidence!
Would you like to call Ibaf as a witness for this piece of evidence?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I think this is gonna hurt us more than help us, but yeah.
Would you like to ask questions, or would you like to allow me to speak freely?
So, want to explain the video?
Yes, I would love to. So what in fact you were seeing is called professional wrestling, and as any cultured individual know, professional wrestling is choreographed weeks in advance. It is for entertainment value. Now, I understand that I am such a skilled professional wrestler that it did look rather brutal and realistic. However, me and these large men that I was committing recreational violence against, we all went to the bar and had a beer together afterwards. Because why? Because we're great friends who like to get on an air quote stage and perform together.
So,
Darvo shit right there. Don't listen to him.
am I hearing this correctly, that this violence was planned out ahead of time? It was premeditated?
Premeditated
I
violence,
think
Your Honor.
that is the wrong part that you are
not what he
focusing
said.
on, and rather the part that you should focus on is that it was all choreographed and not real violence.
I see
Okay.
a big dance.
Oh, big dance. A big dance of violence that was planned?
Sort of
And
like
consensual.
an assassination.
And consensual. Consensual violence, that's an important factor.
Yep. Purely
Fuck
consensual.
you, Rum.
Okay, interesting, interesting.
Unlike him being handcuffed.
So you all agreed to hurt each other.
You can't-
Bailiff, I need to
Shit out of him.
Actually, none of us agreed to hurt each other because for the third time, Your Majesty, it is choreographed and not real. But we did all, in fact, agree to the performance that you saw.
Okay, let the record show that wrestling is not real. Alright. Moving right along, do we have any more evidence?
I don't think I have any other questions. No
Okay.
witness prosecution.
No questions.
Okay. Then,
Your turn.
No, I think
That's-
it's his turn to present.
okay.
Your
Can I
turn.
go sit down again?
Yeah, sorry.
Get back to my corner. I like to watch from the corner in a chair.
Oh.
Just to
Wait. There we go.
further along this narrative I've been building, I have here a text message conversation from a mutually known co-worker of both the defense and the plaintiffs.
Evidence P3 or D5. Okay, I'm searching for it now.
For me, you're going to be using D5.
D5.
Yes, sir.
You worked with Cam a long time. Would you say he's an antagonistic individual? Yes! 100%. It's his life goal of the day. Would you say he even gets joy from it? Yes! I would say he actually has an addiction to it. Thank you for your time. Okay.
I don't really see the need to call a witness for that, so...
No witness needed. Would you like to relinquish your time to prosecution?
I just did, yes, sir.
All right.
No questions.
No questions. Okay, well, we can proceed with your next piece of evidence.
Okay. Well, we might as well, play the same evidence here.
I'm going to go ahead and veto this evidence.
Okay.
So if you could just turn it back to my turn, please, so I can play my veto card.
Hey, a veto?
All right, we have vetoed whatever that was, which means no, you can't play whatever evidence that was.
Okay.
Now
When
it'll
was
be his
that
turn.
loud?
I don't
Oh,
know.
that was a new rule.
Me and the prosecution came agreed to that. He has one too.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agreed to that for you, and I do have one.
It looks like we're getting close to the end of our evidence cards, which means our trial is getting closer to an end. So now is a good time to examine the stakes of this trial. Even though I am the presiding judge, I haven't decided what the punishment was. This was decided without me. So
Well, I believe that it's just our recommendation, and you can choose to alter it or change it. or do
would
whatever
someone
you
like to DM me that before we proceed, so I know where to go?
So, I mean, we can still take him out back and shoot him if you want, Judge.
Okay, that's always on the table.
I think.
Coleslaw?
Should we just say what we are asking for? I think this would be a good time to bring it up. What we would recommend, or what sort of damages we're looking for.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a DM yet, so might as well go ahead.
So I believe my client is asking for a formal apology.
Mm.
And there was one other
Oh.
condition, I believe.
He
Yeah,
requested
administrative
administrative leave
leave.
for a month.
Administrative
from,
leave. for a
IBAF
month.
being a mod.
1 month ban from mod duties or mod responsibilities. Mod.
Yep, we're called.
Okay.
Yep, we're phrasing it administrative leave, but yes.
Administrative leave. Okay. And then, if the defendant side wins, are there any other stakes involved?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Ibaf has those.
When the defense wins, Mr. Tiger Mafia will have to write a 2-paragraph essay on why women gaining the right to vote was an important step forward for our country.
Sure.
He will also, for 1 month, have to change his Discord in NyQuil and Friends names to a yet-to-be-determined name. It will be nothing inappropriate, but he will have to.
He will have some say on that. As far
Okay.
as not saying something too bad.
We have the terms of the agreement. Let the record show that Cam will probably use ChatGPT to write that essay.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
okay, so we can move forward with our evidence. I lost track of whose term it was.
Prosecutor's turn to place
Fuck
their
you,
last
Rum.
evidence.
Okay.
Also, let
so,
the record show that I do believe women should have the right to vote. I don't know where that came from. They're just slandering me.
You're not on trial for that currently.
Yeah, we didn't say you didn't.
Okay.
Guilty conscience.
Well, I think I'll go ahead and present my last piece of evidence here. But before I do so, I just want to kind of recap everything for the court. That my client is my client considered in some ways maybe antagonistic? Sure. But did this infraction have anything to do with this Discord? Absolutely not. This is just a clear overreach of his mod Discord permissions. And I'd like to bring to the court evidence, prosecution evidence 7, clear admission of premeditation from the defendant.
Okay, I'm going to go bring up this piece of evidence real quick.
You can read it. Yeah, go ahead and read that to the court if you don't mind, Your Honor.
Oh,
Hold on, we have some breaking news. Okay, so
A
what
lot of bad words.
what was the number for the piece of evidence that you just provided?
P7.
Prosecutor 7, okay.
And just for context,
Were you writing, Rum? God damn it!
Okay, so prosecution evidence 7, admission of premeditation, will now be presented to the court.
and just for clarification, these are dated July 17th, 2024.
Okay, around this time last year. Yeah, I really shouldn't be trusted with any sort of power. I'd abuse it. Tiger Mafia. Game of the year. Employees is kind of huge, though, but only if they don't fuck up my organization. I know, right? I wouldn't expect you to understand the magnitude of this groundbreaking update. I'll fuck up your organization, Tiger Mafia. That's a biased opinion. The only thing that I'm biased about is hating you. It looks like there's some parts of this document that are redacted. What are we missing here?
Well, you'll look and you'll see there are two different examples from different
Yes.
dates. One is
It
from
was just-
July.
I
one is
pulled
from
3
August.
different screenshots into one thing, and then
Yes. Oh, I see
nothing
now.
there
It
is
is
redacted.
three different.
Your Honor, defense was made aware of what else was there, and I was fine with the redactions.
Okay.
Frankly, I think this evidence speaks for itself. I mean, look at him. He's making a mockery of your court right now. And he clearly doesn't feel apologetic for his actions. And he's stated, a year ago that he would do this exact action against my client. I think that's all I need to say.
Does the defense have any retort?
For that, no.
You don't want
I
to
do
call
have-
your star witness?
No, I got my last piece of evidence to put forth. I am going to call the plaintiff to the stand to ask him some questions before I give my evidence, though.
what up?
What exactly is my client being sued for?
Abuse of mod powers?
Abuse of mod powers.
Yes.
Okay. I wanted everybody to hear specifically what he was being sued for before I give this evidence. Which is... If you'll read this post, it clearly states that when you modded him, you said there were no rules.
Let's see here. No rules made by NyQuil. See evidence D2. I'm going to it right now. Da 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 da. Ba, 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 ba.
Do I get to make statements after he's made statements about this evidence?
Oh, you'll have a turn.
It's new evidence, so you'll have a turn, and then I get my closing statements like you did. You did your closing statements a little early.
I did. I was so excited.
Okay, so my mods represent all the things that I like in my Discord. The vibes, the people that you bring in. I recently modded Wino because she can help organize this place. Oh, wait. Oh. Rum, can you please turn Ibaf into a chicken, please?
No! She's starting it! Goddamn!
Thank you. Okay. From the top. My mods represent all the things that I like in my Discord. The vibes and the people that you bring in. I just recently modded Wino because she can help organize this place a bit more as it grows. I eventually want to come up with rules, which will mostly mean don't be a dick, but if any other mods have any input on changes that need to be made, Ibaf, Coleslaw, Tori, Buffalo, feel free to tell me and Wino or just implement them yourself. I trust you guys. Coleslaw says, new rule, Feral Fridays, draw your own conclusions, open to interpretation. Feral Fridays is now in effect. Wino says, I'm 3 espresso martinis deep right now. And that is the end of the evidence. That is everything provided.
So clearly in this, it states from you, the creator of this Discord, that you trust your mods to do what's right, and there are no rules.
That is correct.
Until you make some. Okay. Defense rests. So now you get to. Oh, sorry. Now you can question him about this, or you can talk about the evidence now.
I mean, we do have the person who wrote the rules here. If anybody wants to call one more witness.
The rules that didn't exist back when this happened.
That is correct, because the rules are relevant to the case, but they won't be changed until after this case is over.
I'm trying to point at one.
Well, I don't understand how they're relevant because they didn't exist when this happened.
Or are you saying that it's admissible?
Sorry, Your Honor, I'm not trying to do
What
that.
I'm saying is those rules that are now in the Discord got added after this already happened.
Yes, they were added because it was necessary.
I agree. Rules need to happen. So now we have rules to follow. But we didn't back when he did this.
We do have a couple people. We have somebody in chat saying free Ibaf.
Closing statements I have, because I have to go tuck my kid in.
Okay.
Closing statements. Is Ibaf a dick? Yes. Is Ibaf does he get over angry about things? Yes. Did he do anything technically wrong, though? No. Because you told him he could do whatever he wanted. Defense will be right back.
All right. Defense will be right back. So, do you have any closing statement for prosecution, or any questions to ask, or anything to add to the...
I do have something I'd like to add. I would like to state that even though there were no rules per se, that means my client didn't commit any infraction by the same logic. So the statement of rules is moot, frankly. There were no rules to break, therefore there was no punishment to dole out for breaking any rules. Arbitrary decisions made by the defendant don't count as Discord rules, and in fact had nothing to do with Discord. I would also like to point out, referencing the defendant's evidence that they just brought forth, where Your Honor and Your Majesty stated, I eventually want to come up with rules, which will mostly mean don't be a dick, and the defendant's counsel himself just called the defendant a dick.
It was just brought to my attention that we have another piece of evidence that I would like to provide to the court, and I will make this. I will bring this to discovery right now. It was just brought to my desk moments ago. So
It's highly irregular.
The judge is adding evidence?
yes, it was just
Highly irregular.
I just got back. What
the bailiff.
I don't know.
The bailiff just brought this piece of evidence to my desk. It's in pre-trial discovery. It's in discovery right now.
The
And
bailiff is bringing evidence to the judge.
I'm bringing this evidence to the live stream right now.
I
Bringing
can't
it to
even.
himself.
It
You mean the
says,
bailiff that's been using my client as a punching bag.
It
the entire
says-
trial?
I swear to fuck, I'm going to find a Haitian witch doctor to put a hex on you.
How is that relevant to this trial?
Well, seeing as how it's happening in the middle of the trial, I do think it's relevant.
No, that's a different criminal charge. We can try all that later. That's how law works.
This is sock law.
I'll admit it. I'm cool with it.
Fuck your logic.
Well,
Okay, so
unfortunately, IBEF, it seems like what I stated back at work is 100% true.
how do I make people vote? How do I make the jury vote?
They did vote. They're both saying innocent right now. That's why it's blue.
Yeah, both jurors are in favor of Ibaf, and if you were,
Hold on.
Because again,
Bailiff, I need to hear the defendant.
have you not seen throughout this entire trial your bailiff harassing me? Am I not allowed to defend myself?
Irrelevant. Can you please finish your statement?
Is that what you call what you did to my client? Defending yourself?
Yes, and it's also what falls under the messages that I sent to Rum. Self-defense.
Okay, so you didn't know this, but Nova was our secret juror, and it looks like we have one vote for Ibaf not guilty and one vote for Ibaf guilty. So the decision falls on me.
Wow. I told you, IBEF.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick recess. Everybody take 5, smoke a cigarette, and I will have my decision in just a moment. In the meantime, I need to talk to our jurors in the Mecha Break voice chat. Wino, Nova, can you meet me in... Yeah, Wino, Nova, can you meet me in the Mecha Break?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm not staying here for this farce.
But we could still hear you.
You can still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can hear you in game.
How do I...
You
You can
mute
mute.
yourself in game.
You gotta go to settings.
and add a push to talk or something. Change it to push to talk and then don't push the button.
It's echoing.
I got it, I think.
NyQuil is.
It's NyQuil. It's always NyQuil.
Oh.
Can they hear me?
Streaming, so it always causes echoes.
Can they
hear me in chat?
You guys can't hear me in game anymore,
that
right?
whole time? No.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't talking.
Okay. I can still hear them talking right now, but I need to know how you guys really feel about this trial because it could go either way.
Yeah, I legitimately thought
I mean,
you were
Coleslaw
talking
made
about
some
it.
really
Like
great
a
points.
psychopath.
Tony also made some really great points.
On his puppet.
So are there.
It's only a little.
Well, like, my thing is like, there were no rules when this happened, like at all.
So you probably should.
And, you know, and Ibaf did tell him, hey, chill out a few times. And he didn't,
Well played, sir.
you know?
NyQuil's gonna pick
And
the thing he thinks
so,
is the funniest, and saying Ibaf
like,
guilty is
it just,
100%.
I get it. I get why he
That's
was just
not
like,
true.
fuck you,
He's
because
not gonna
sometimes I would do the same
He's
thing.
gonna adjust.
Right.
IBAF will get angry.
You know?
I understand that. And I can see that point of view. But
Okay.
removing somebody because of that reason
That's
There's-
why.
from a whole
Why can't it
Discord.
instigate stuff?
Are you
I feel like-
are you sane?
Well,
The point that Ibaf
Because
made
it's
to me
funny
before the
that,
trial began
Ibaf is
was that
guilty,
he could be added
but
back
it's
at any
also not true
time,
that all the
and
evidence
that he
hasn't
was
been
just
proven
giving
yet.
him like a little timeout
And fuck ice.
because
Yeah,
he
that
thought
would
it
prove
would
that
be
Yeah.
like a clear message.
It's about an abuse of power.
All you did was
And
prove
I feel like
his
that's fair.
It's abuse of power, not
but
rules.
can't you in Discord like mute
Give
and
an
block
authority and
somebody
the abuse.
on your own terms? So if he didn't want anything to be seen on his end, he could have muted and blocked him for a time being and not see any bullshit.
I think
I mean,
he can't mute and block someone at work, and that is the underlying thing.
Who decides what's a
Yeah.
Okay.
at that point?
yeah, and also, it may not have anything to do with him wanting to mute and block somebody. It was more of saying, hey,
Why are we even
stop
here?
fucking with me because this can happen.
Perception.
You know, it was a
Right.
clear message.
Okay.
Knowing that he can bring them back.
I think that I've heard enough. I'm going to go back to game, and everybody go back to the Ibaf room, and I'll make my decision.
I actually got
First
kicked
time
from
that
court,
Mod
so
has
I'm just
actually,
gonna
like,
watch
kicked
stream
four
from now
guys.
on.
Okay, alright.
Could be.
Do you feel honored? First blood.
I do.
He was just testing. See, he was just testing the this to make sure it worked.
Well, trial's over, bud. They deliberated.
Ibaf, you're being pretty quiet.
Alright, is my voice working?
Probably fucking muted or something.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Judge.
Okay.
Why
No
am I
reason.
handcuffed?
Don't
I'm
worry
not on
about it.
trial.
Alright, I need silence from everyone in the court. I have come to a decision. I've talked to the jurors. So, after a long deliberation, or a short deliberation, however you'd like to see this, I am going to share my personal feelings on this matter. I think Fencepost and Coleslaw made a good point. There were no rules, and because there were no rules, technically, Ibaf did no wrong, and technically, Tiger Mafia did no wrong.
This is the same.
Oh.
Are you hearing what I'm saying?
So they're
So-
both going to jail?
Hold on a minute, Rum.
I'm not on trial.
Hold on a minute, Rum. Furthermore, Nova brought up the fact that Ibaf could have easily muted Tiger Mafia or blocked him in the Discord, but I brought up the fact that Ibaf cannot mute or block Tiger Mafia at work in real life. And this was, in my opinion, a sort of what's the word? Like an act of retribution. And because I know that any of my other mods could add Tiger Mafia back to my Discord at any time, the harm that was done was nominal. And I'm going to leave it at that. I find the defendant not guilty.
Holy shit. Bullshit.
100% win rate, bitches.
All right.
We're gonna
bullshit.
appeal.
That's
We're
bullshit.
appealing. Don't worry, we're appealing. We're
That's
appealing.
bullshit.
Suck it, nerds!
We're going to a higher court, baby. We're going to a higher court. This is bullshit.
See you in Supreme Sock Court.
I would also like to state that there was no, what do you call it, punishment stated by the judge before he declared Ibaf not guilty.
Well,
No
I
sentencing.
think it's fair that
No sentence.
that you don't have to write a stupid essay, and if you feel like
Well, this
going
is-
along with the gag, you can change your name, but for like a week. It doesn't have to be for a month. But that is court is adjourned. Thank you everyone who was here and participated.
Robbed. My client was robbed.